When you think of some of the greatest strikers of the last 10 years, you would think of players like Wayne Rooney and Harry Kane. But there's one that might not be better in them in terms of actual performance, but this player's journey just gives him a specialness in his own right. Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and today I am going to be explaining the incredible story of Jamie Vardy. How he went from playing non-league football to winning a Premier League and an FA Cup with Leicester City. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Vardy was born in Sheffield on the 11th of January 1987, but he experienced tragedy quite young, as his biological father walked out on him when he was still an infant. His mum later married a guy called Phil Vardy, which means Vardy actually took his stepfather's name rather than keeping with his father's name, which I guess makes sense, seeing as who wants to have the name of the person who walked out on you on the back of their shirt. Growing up, Vardy was a big Sheffield Wednesday fan, and he idolised the striker David Hirst, which definitely could have given him the inspiration to be a striker rather than any other position. Anyway, in his early career, Vardy did join the youth system at Sheffield Wednesday, which I'm sure would make him ecstatic joining his home club youth system. However, he was released at the age of 16 for being too small, which does seem to be a reason that clubs come to regret, because Vardy and Mbappe with Chelsea, I'm pretty sure it was because he was too small that Mbappe was rejected from Chelsea, and we all know how that worked out. Anyway, after being released, he then played at Stockbridge Park Stills, a side that is in the 7th division of England, I believe. If I might be wrong, but I believe. He made his way through the reserve team and into the first team, and he made his debut under manager Gary Morrow in 2007, and at that time he was only earning £30 a week at the club. That shows just how much prices have changed since that time. Like, sure, he was a young player, but like young players nowadays, they probably get starting salaries of somewhere between 1,000 to 10,000, so it just shows how much of a difference there has been since then. But anyway, like I was saying, after some impressive displays, a number of Football League clubs became interested, and in 2009 he spent a week on trial with Crewe Alexandra, and move to Crewe Alexandra did not materialise, and he later turned down a short-term contract with Rotherham United. In June 2010, the manager, Neil Espin, a long-time admirer of Vardy, signed him for FC Halifax Town for a fee of £15,000. He made his debut on the 21st of August 2010 in the home match against Buxton, and he actually scored the winning goal on his debut in the match that ended 2-1 to his new club. Vardy had a very successful first season with his new club, finishing as the club's top goal scorer in his debut season with 25 goals from 37 appearances, and being voted the Players' Player of the season. His goals helped secure the Northern Premier League division title for the 2010-2011 season. Vardy started the 2011-12 season with Halifax and scored 3 goals in the opening four matches of the season. Now, in the 11-12 season, after just over a year with Halifax, Vardy went up the English pyramid by joining Fleetwood Town, which back then was a National League side, obviously now is a League One side. He made his debut the same day he was signed in a 0-0 home draw with York City. He scored his first goals for the club in his third appearance, scoring twice in a 3-2 away win to Kettering Town on the 1st of January 2012. Vardy scored twice in a 6-0 win over Southport, and 6 days later the team lost 5-1 at home to local rivals Blackpool in the third round of the Cup, which was obviously a big deal for the club. After the match, though, the Blackpool manager was impressed with Vardy, and he made a £750,000 offer for him, but Fleetwood rejected it because they wanted a £1 million offer and a loan back to the club for the remainder of the season if they were going to sell Vardy. Wrexham's draw against Grimsby Town gave Fleetwood the conference title or the National League title or the Varama National League title, whatever you want to call it, and a first ever promotion to the top, to like actual professional football in the top 4 leagues of England. Vardy's 31 league goals saw him finish the season as top scorer in the National League. In total, Vardy made 42 appearances, 34 goals. 31 of the goals were in the National League and 3 were in the FA Cup. And he had 0 assists. He was already showing that he definitely had the potential to become a great striker one day. Now, moving on to the 12-13 season. On the 17th of May 2012, it was announced Vardy would be signing for the then Championship side, obviously now Premier League side, Leicester City, for a reported fee of £1 million, which is actually a non-league record. The next day, he signed on a 3-year contract until June 2015. On the 14th of August, Vardy made his debut for Leicester against Torquay United in the first round of the League Cup, playing the entirety of the match at Plainmoor and heading the final goal in a 4-0 win. So again, Vardy scored on his debut for a club, which Vardy seemed to like doing, but we won't know if he likes to do that again because who knows if he's going to join another club in his career. Anyway, so 4 days later he made his Football League debut because his actual debut was in the League Cup, as I said, at the King Power Stadium in a 2-0 win over Peterborough United, in which he set up a goal for someone else to set up. I don't know what it's stated weirdly. Anyway, he scored his first league goal in a 2-1 away defeat. Vardy's first season at the club was marred by his own loss of form, prompting criticism from some Leicester City supporters on social media, and in fact he even considered leaving football until the manager and assistant manager convinced him to continue with the club, which is insane. Some people on social media almost made one of the best English strikers of the decade quit football. Anyway, in total in his first season he made 29 appearances and scored 4 in the Championship and 1 in the League Cup, and 0 assists, and it was understandable considering it was his first season. Now, for the 13-14 season, this season brought a turnaround in Vardy's fortunes as he established himself as a prolific scorer in the Leicester attack, as the club took a commanding lead at the top of the table. At the end of the season, Leicester were promoted to the Premier League as they ended the season as champions, and Vardy was named Leicester's Players Player of the Season at the club's awards. In total he made 41 appearances, and all 16 he scored were in the Championship, and again he got 0 assists, showing that when he got comfortable he did quite well, and also for the first few seasons of his career he preferred to be a scoring man than an assister. Anyway, now on to the 14-15 season. On the 19th of August 2014, Vardy extended his contract until the summer of 2018, proving his loyalty to the club that he wanted to stay. After missing the first 2 matches of the season for injury, he made his Premier League debut on the 31st of August 2014 as a second-half substitution in a 1-1 draw at home to Arsenal, which, considering it was their first season in the Premier League in quite a while, that's pretty good. On the 21st of September, Vardy delivered a man-of-the-match performance, scoring his first Premier League goal and setting up the other 4 as Leicester made a surprise comeback from 3-1 down to a 5-3 victory. And that's just insane. Vardy had something to do with every single goal that was scored by his team in that game. Yeah, they made a surprise comeback from 3-1 down to a 5-3 victory against Manchester United. Anyway, Vardy and Leicester ended the 2014-15 season in a safe 14th position, but also on the 21st of May 2015 he got called up for the England national team for the first time ahead of the friendly ahead of the friendly against Ireland and a Euro qualifying match against Slovenia. He made his debut on the 7th of June 2015 in a 0-0 draw against Ireland, replacing Rooney for the final 15 minutes. And that was a huge milestone, because obviously for any player, making your debut for your national team is a huge thing. And Vardy managed to do it pretty quickly after he got to Premier League life. Anyway, he made 37 appearances in total. He scored 5, all of which were in the Prem, and he finally got his first assist, getting 8 in total. Now, we are on to what this video is mainly about. The 2015-2016 Premier League season. The craziest season in a while. Now, Vardy started the 2015-16 season by scoring the opening goal as Leicester picked up a 4-2 win at home against Sunderland on the 8th of August 2015. Then, Vardy got called up to the England squad again for the second time for the first international break of the season for the Euro 2016 qualifier games against San Marino and Switzerland. He got his first England start in a 6-0 win against San Marino. On the 21st of November, Vardy matched Van Nistelrooy's record of consecutive Premier League matches with a goal, opening a 3-0 win against Newcastle. A week later against Manchester United, he scored again to claim the record for himself. His run ended on the 5th of December when he did not score in a 3-0 win at Swansea. Had he done so, he would have equalled the English top flight record of 12 consecutive scoring matches set by Jimmy Doon for Sheffield United in 1931 to 32. The result, nevertheless, put Leicester top of the table in January 2016. Manager Claudio Ranieri declared that Vardy and Riyad Mahrez would be sold to no one, describing them as priceless. On the 6th of February 2016, he signed a new contract, even though he still had 2 years left on his contract, proving that he was really loyal to the club, and keeping him there until 2019. After being called up again for England on the 26th of March, he scored his first international goal as a sub in a 3-2 win against Germany, and then he scored 3 days later the opening goal in a 2-1 defeat to the Netherlands at Wembley. So he got his scoring account for England underway, which is an important moment for any player. On the 10th of April 2016, Vardy scored both goals, his 20th and 21st of the season, in Leicester's 2-0 win at Sunderland, becoming the first Leicester player since Gary Lineker in the 1984-85 season to score 20 goals in the top division of English football. That is actually insane. So basically 20 years, and then Vardy just comes up and does it. This result also secured qualification to the UEFA Champions League for the first and only time in Leicester City's history, which of course is an insane moment for the club and Vardy. At the end of the season, against odds, literally their odds were 5,000 to 1. They won the Premier League and made absolute history in one of the most incredible, weird, complex seasons of all time. Vardy was the second highest scorer in the Premier League for the 2015-16 season, alongside Sergio Aguero, only 1 goal behind Golden Boot winner Harry Kane. In total, he made 47 appearances, scored 28, 24 in the Prem and 4 in international friendlies for England, and he got 7 assists. And that is one of the most craziest seasons of the Premier League. Now, we are now on to Euro 2016, so if you are not an England fan, you're going to enjoy this, and if you are an England fan like me, I'm sorry, I'm saying that to myself as well, but this is part of Vardy's career, so I have to go through it. So, Euro 2016. Before the 16-17 season, Vardy got called up to make his tournament debut in Euro 2016. He made his tournament debut in the second group stage game as a sub in the second half against Wales, and scored his only goal of the tournament to equalise before Daniel Sturridge scored in the 91st minute to complete the comeback, which obviously is one of the most infamous England games in of the decade. He also played in the third group stage game, which finished 1-1, but didn't score. The scores being Eric Dyer and a 92nd minute equaliser from Russia in the group stage. Because England drew 2 and 1-1, that did mean they went through, but they went through second in the group behind Wales. Drawing Iceland in the round of 16, Vardy was subbed on during the match, but it didn't help as one of the craziest things ever happened, as Iceland beat England 2-1, knocking them out of the competition. So, yeah. That part's over, I'm glad to say. Anyway, 16-17 season. On the 3rd of June 2016, Arsenal made a bid of $22 million for Vardy, triggering a release clause in his contract. But Leicester offered him improved terms, and 20 days later he agreed to a new 4-year deal to be signed on his return from Euro 2016. Vardy rejected Arsenal's offer because Arsenal had not promised that he would play in his normal position, and because of the differences between the two clubs' tactics, with Arsene Wenger favouring possession and Leicester playing on a counter-attack. On the 7th of August 2016, he scored in a 2-1 defeat to Manchester United in the Community Shield, obviously winning in the Community Shield they lost the Community Shield, but Vardy scored in it. 20 days later, Vardy scored his first league goal of the season in Leicester's first win of the campaign, beating Swansea 2-1. He didn't score in the group stages of the Champions League for Leicester, but nevertheless they still went through and they faced Sevilla, where Vardy scored his first Champions League goal in a 2-1 defeat in the first leg. They made a comeback in the second leg and got to the quarter-final. On the 18th of April, he scored Leicester's equaliser in their second leg quarter-final match against Atletico Madrid, but nevertheless, Leicester were eliminated 2-1 on aggregate. This good run might have affected the league as they finished 12th and haven't returned to the Champions League since then. In total, he made 51 appearances, 16 goals, and 13 in the Prem and 2 in the Champions League and 1 in the Community Shield, and he also got 5 assists. In the 17-18 season, on the 16th of October, Vardy made his 200th appearance for the club in a 1-1 draw against West Brom. It was absolutely crazy because a lot of players don't show loyalty like that. A lot of players could be gone after like 100 games or even less than that, but he stayed. In a 1-1 draw against West Brom. 2 weeks later, he scored the opener of a 2-0 home win against Everton in Claude Puey's debut match as Leicester City manager. On the 23rd of December 2017, Vardy netted his 50th Premier League goal in the 2-2 draw against Manchester United. By netting a brace in the final day of the season, a 5-4 away defeat by Tottenham Hotspur, Vardy reached the 20 goal line mark in the Premier League for the second time in his career. In terms of Leicester though, another average season, finishing 9th. In total, he made 45 appearances and scored 24 goals, 20 in the Prem, 2 in the FA Cup, 1 in the League Cup and 1 in international friendlies. And he also got 1 assist. Now, onto a tournament that is a little bit happier than Euro 2016. World Cup 2018, still not the happiest, but at least better than Euro 2016. Vardy was called up for the World Cup, but he was used sparingly, making only 4 appearances, 3 of them being substitute appearances, and he only started 1 game, which was the last group stage game against Belgium. He didn't get a goal or an assist in this tournament, and obviously we made it to the semi-finals for the first time in 28 years before losing to Croatia in extra time. Now, on to the 18-19 season. On the 9th of August 2018, just before the start of the 18-19 season, Vardy signed a new 4-year deal at Leicester, keeping him at the club until 2022, when he will be 35. Vardy started the season as a substitute, scoring a 92nd minute winner, a consolation goal, in the 2-1 away defeat to Manchester United on the opening match of the season. On the 28th of August 2018, Vardy announced he would be retiring from the England national team and that he didn't want to be called up again, and the only reason he would accept a call up again would be if there was an injury crisis, which he told Gareth Southgate that he would be willing to play if there was an injury crisis. On the 9th of March 2019, Vardy scored his 100th Premier League goal for Leicester, meaning that just in one season he went from 50 to 100, scoring two goals in a 3-1 home win over Fulham on the 28th of April 2019. Vardy scored another 2 goals, this time in a 3-0 home victory against Arsenal, bringing his goal tally in league football for Leicester to 100. In total, he made 36 appearances, scored 18, and got 4 assists, all of which were in the Premier League. Now, the 1920 season. On the 4th of July, Vardy scored his 100th and 101st goal in the Premier League in a 3-0 victory over Crystal Palace. He became the first Leicester player to reach the 100-goal milestone and 29th overall in league history. Of the 29 players to have scored Premier League goals, only Ian Wright, 28 years, 286 days, made his debut in the competition at an older age than Vardy, 27 years, 232. With 23 goals, he won the Premier League Golden Boot for the first time in his career, followed by Southampton for Danny Ings and Arsenal forward Aubameyang, both on 22 goals. The 33-year-old Vardy became the oldest player to win the award during the season. They got back into the Europa League, this time finishing 5th. In total, he made 40 appearances, scoring 23, all in the Prem, and got 7 assists. Now, 2020-21 season. On the 25th of August 2020, Vardy signed a new contract with Leicester City, lasting until the end of this current season that's just started. On the 15th of May 2021, he started in the 2021 FA Cup final as Leicester defeated Chelsea 1-0 to win their first ever FA Cup victory. By playing in the final, Vardy became the first player to play in every round of the competitions, including the preliminary stages. In the Europa League, they finished top of their group, giving Slavia Praha in the round of 32. They lost 2-0 on aggregate, but they were straight back in it as they finished 5th again. In total, Vardy made 42 appearances, scored 17, 15 in the Prem and 2 in the Europa, and got 9 assists. Now, for last season, there's not a whole lot of information about it, so Vardy was injured for a lot of the season, but still made 25 appearances and scored 17, 15 in the Prem, and 2 in the League Cup, and I think it was 2 assists that he got as well. Now, what now for Jamie Vardy? Vardy's contract doesn't expire until the end of this current season, and even if he doesn't get a new contract, I don't think his football career will be over. As I've been saying this video, he's become one of the best England strikers, and it is just insane. Despite joining, now let's have a feel of the impact. Despite joining the league when he was in his mid-20s, when he was 25 or 27, there's different results here. But yeah, when he was 25 or 27, he has become one of the best strikers in the league with 170 goals and 43 assists in total for Leicester. Really, and it really is one of the biggest journeys in football. Like, to do that kind of results, like, not only do you really have to play for most strikers, you have to play in your league for the whole of your life and be one of the best. But Vardy, he joined the league in his mid-20s, but still managed to be one of the most successful strikers in the Premier League. But yeah, Jamie Vardy's story is just absolutely incredible. Being in non-league football at the age of 25 years old, and then becoming one of the best strikers in the Premier League, especially with Leicester City, and also obviously he was one of the main aspects that led his team to their first league title. So yeah, Jamie Vardy's story is just absolutely insane, and I know loads of people have told it, but Vardy's story deserves to be just told over and over again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series that I've made. I do have plans for a load more of these types of episodes for clubs, players, stuff like that. But I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe, like and share with a friend, as not only would it help me, I am also still in a 1,000 subscribers war with my friend Jack Mason, the first one to 1k win, so I really appreciate your support in that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.